Work in progress, man. Work in progress, man. Niggas get super salty tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Niggas get super salty tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Niggas get super salty tryna ride the wave. Niggas tryna ride my wave, but I ain't even stressing. I came a long way, and that's a true blessing. Me and your chick in a small session, let her suck my dick on the real, she just taste testing. I'm sick of all these rats, let me change the station. I finally did it big once I left the plantation. Got tired of them feed me in moderation, so I got up on my ass with no hesitation. These fuck niggas don't know what I've been through. These niggas ankle biters, I swear they just shizzles. I keep it real, they pixelated like Nintendo. My words are sharp, and it's something like a Ginzu. Sword. Whatever. Tino sleep. Tino sleep. Work in progress. Work in progress. Me star. Before you start, my nigga. Niggas get super salty tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Niggas get super salty tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Tryna ride the wave. Niggas get super salty tryna ride the wave. Now if it ain't about the money, then it ain't an issue. Now if dirty ain't in the frame, then it ain't a picture. I work for myself, don't need no Mr. I had to double up like sister. You feeling like a guy, but living like a fiend. I'm Muhammad Ali was stepping in that ring. My rope-a-dope style bug wild, make the whole city jump when they know I touched down. They first started with the hate, now they all jockey. Now I still got some niggas at the ball of blocking. I'm hot, boy, yeah, I'm hot, boy, y'all super sweet. Now you starting to ass out, boy. Dirty. Tino sleep. Mister.
Baby and her 80-year-old sugar dad paramour, old, just decrepit old dude that she might have been ghetto gagging with, might have not been, we don't know, it's all suspected. Anyway, they duke it out in front of onlookers and a bunch of moist back border jumpers. It's a racist already, it's real racist. Hello everyone, I'm Tommy Sotomayor. This is TNN News Raw. Yes, I will never be in mainstream talking like this, but it don't matter, because I'm having fun. I told you this is the best video I've seen all day. I woke up happy after seeing this. A black machine, looked like a BT-1000, maybe even an 800, I don't know. No, it's somewhere around, no, I think it's about like a 1000, it gotta be. Got into an argument over a parking spot in the middle of a college. Let's read it. The student who recorded a man screaming the N-word at a woman during a parking lot dispute in Santa Monica called the woman, called the use of the racial slur a weapon. A weapon. Social justice warriors, just a horrible people. Saying the word N-I-G-G-E-R is now considered a weapon, a weapon. A parking lot dispute in Santa Monica escalated into racial slurs and a physical confrontation that was captured on tape by wetback. Oh, God. Some Mexicans, or whatever they are, but let me tell you something. Mexican, don't get mad, because black women believe that y'all love them, and they believe that white men love them too. And I just find it funny that black folks even think that Mexican and black people are connected, like we brothers or something, like y'all really down for us. Go ahead and let them know that it's not true. That's the only reason I'm doing it. And if you Mexican and you watching this and you offended by anything I'm saying, or if you white and you offended by anything I'm saying, that means you're racist anyway, because you come here to listen to me talk about black folks and leave you alone. Let's get on back to this story, this black woman getting her just desserts. The man repeated the racial slurs in a parking lot in a rage and is being classified as a hate crime by the officials of the Santa Monica College, and the man involved is being cited by misdemeanor battery. Now I want you guys to take a look at this and let's see if it is what they say it is. So if we can do this for just a second, let's go on and switch over and get over to the story right here. As this white man, this good old white man is going to tell the story about this black woman. And let me tell you something. This story right here just goes to show you, people are tired of black women like I am. It ain't nothing new. I'm just the only one willing to say it. If you're in the comment section and you are one of those people who are tired of black women, and when black women come around, you know it's going to be some Aunt Ruckus stuff going on, go ahead and put your ones up right now. Let's go into the story. Make sure you click the like too, because it makes no sense when I get a video with 50,000 views and 1,000 likes. Click the like. Show me you like it. All right, let's go ahead and listen to the white man. White man, tell us the story.
Extreme ugliness on display in a parking lot at Santa Monica College. A dispute over a parking spot has degenerated into a racist rant, and it was all caught on tape. Now,
y'all understand, that woman is fighting a man that's literally about to die. He's 80 years old, and that grown woman is out there fighting this man because she parked in a spot. He was trying to get her out of the way, and we've all seen it. He called her all kind of ends, which he should be able to, because we can call white people all kind of names and nothing happens. We can be on television. We can be Don Lemon and call white people whatever we want. Nothing will happen. They should be able to use the N-word as much as they like. I have no problem with it, especially when they're using it to one of the ghetto gagging or suspected ghetto gaggers.
A white man is seen confronting a black woman over how she parked her car. An eyewitness named Enrique was sitting in his car, and when he heard the commotion, grabbed his phone and started.
The eyewitness named Enrique, and when he heard the commotion, he grabbed his phone and started recording it. Hey, black woman. He didn't get out of the car and stop the white man from calling you that, did he? Nope.
Started rolling. The man used the N-word, and the verbal altercation became physical. You saw a lot of that. A parking lot attendant seen on the video trying to break it up, but he was unable to separate the man and the woman.
Is the parking lot attendant another Mexican trying to break it up? Do you see him trying to break it up, or do you see him laughing?
80-year-old Alan
He laughing and he walks away.
Rock, and he was cited for committing battery on school property, being classified as a hate crime.
It's being classified as a hate crime, and he was cited for battery. Let's watch it again. See if anyone of the Mexicans help.
An older white man is seen confronting a black woman over how she parked her car. An eyewitness named Enrique was sitting in his car, and when he heard the commotion, grabbed his phone and started rolling. The man used the N-word, and the verbal altercation became physical. You saw a lot of that. A parking lot attendant seen on the video trying to break it up. He was unable to separate the man and the woman. The man is identified as 80-year-old Alan Shinerock, and he was cited for committing battery on school property, being classified as a hate crime.
Let that sink in for a second. It's being classified as a hate crime to call an individual the N-word. And they're saying he assaulted her because he confronted her. But I hope he's got a lawyer, and I hope his family is looking at this video, because I'm going to help y'all out. And I want you to talk about these, oh, I'm so little. Oh, my God, I'm little in the corner. What I want to do, though, is show you guys something, if I could, for just a second. I want you to pay attention to what's going on here on the screen. I'm getting a little bigger. Let's go ahead and watch. Now, the real version is on my website. I want you guys to go to the website and take a look. The version without no beeps and the long extended version is on the website. You will enjoy it. I did too. I grabbed some popcorn and just ate it. Now, the Terminatrix cannot be, you know what, screw it. Go ahead and tell them, Reese.
Listen and understand that Terminator is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop, ever. Until you are dead.
That's right. And in this video, you can obviously tell that the woman is at fault. Don't believe me? Just watch.
Don't believe me? Just watch.
Let's get it.
Don't believe me? Just watch. You think you're a piece of shit? Now get the out of here and let people move. Who the do you think you are? You're in the wrong area.
Okay. She kept asking him to say it again. Say it again. Say my name, say my name. He calling you a girl. She said, say it again. You can't keep telling me to say something again to get mad when I say it again. Say it again. He said, say it again. Like she James Brown at a concert. Say it again. She hit him. She hit him first. Look at it again. She hit him again. Let's see it again. She hit him. She hit him first. That old man is old. That old man is old. She hit him. See it again. I just like this video. I'm telling y'all, y'all go to the website, you'll see the better version with the long extended version with the cussing and everything. You'll get to enjoy it. God, Lord knows I did. I was watching the whole thing like this.
You are. You're in the wrong area. Say it again. Get your.
Touch me. Listen. Leave.
It's doubly good. When you see two of me, you know it's good.
Right now. right now. Get the off me. You bitch. Call me an again.
Look at Enrique laughing. Black women, huh? I thought everybody was on y'all side. I thought everybody loved black women. Yeah, they love them because black women are loose. That's it. They love them because they loose, and they know if they're of any other race, they are more loose with them. Period. Look at him laughing. He ain't did one thing to stop this altercation, nor did the person who got out and recorded it. Both of them were Mexican. See the white man right there? You see him helping your black ass? I didn't say it. You see him helping? No, he's not. Ooh, look at that old man. Talking about back off. She hit the old man. Look at he laughing. Enrique is laughing.
He's not worth it. I'm not moving.
Get that fucking out of
They told her, can you just leave it? He's not worth it. What did she say? I'm not moving.
here.
You.
So let me understand this. She's able to cuss him out, and there's no problem. Again, go to the website, and you'll be able to see it. Go to the website, and you'll be able to play it as many times as I have, because I'm telling you, it's the best footage I've seen all day. But you want to tell me, black women, about all this ghetto gagging and swirling you're doing? But with all this ghetto gagging and swirling, why you never see white men helping you out? And there's been a white woman out there getting beat up by a white man, although she wasn't getting beat up, because that machine would have killed that old white man. She showed restraint, white man. She could have killed you. And would nobody have stopped that big old machine from killing you? That woman was bigger than you, faster than you, stronger than you. She's a $6 chick. You know, that's what they're worth. But I want to just thank the people who sent me this story, just because it made my day. I was sad today. Some things was going wrong, but this cheered me up. Anytime I can see something like this happen. Now, I want you white people to tell me in the comment section, especially after you go to the website and see the full video, and tell me who you think is at fault. Do you think this should be filed as a hate crime? Especially as many white people you've seen get beat up in public by black folks. And it's never been classified as a hate crime. Yet something like this, where you see a person younger hitting an older person, which common sense would tell us, if I'm not mistaken, guys, that don't they tell us men, we're not supposed to hit women because we're stronger and faster than them? You don't think this woman in her 20s is stronger and faster than that man in his 80s? He barely could get his leg up. But yet still, this man is going to be charged and not her. Now you guys see what I'm talking about. But people don't like black women. It's a fact. People just don't. If they're not giving out sex, they don't like them. And even when you're getting sex from them, they're usually giving you something back, like herpes, AIDS, syphilis. It's just how it works. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the show. If you don't like what I'm saying, stop watching. Why do you keep on clicking on my stuff knowing what I'm going to say? It's repetitive at this point, isn't it? I'm going to expose black women, what they do out in public that I see on the news. I ain't going in their personal business. Nope. This is what they are showing the world. So if they are offended by what they're showing the world, maybe, just maybe, they'll stop. But as long as you're in love with white men, anytime I can see white men doing something to you, kudos, kudos. White men continue the good work, putting them in their place while they keep chasing you. I'm Tommy Sotomayor. Fuck you and good night.
Yeah, guys, it's that time. Chief Shots TV. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. It's Chief Shots TV. I hope you guys are enjoying the platform. You know, I'm excited to be here today, guys. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to talk about this when I first seen it, like 2 or 3 days ago. But, you know, I had other things I was doing and things of that nature. You know, and sometimes you can be caught up doing other things that you're not the first to tap on something. I knew I wouldn't be the first to tap on it. But, of course, Tommy and a few other people have touched on Kanye West and his interview. I am not the first person, but I have been following this situation. I have been following Kanye West's situation for a long time. And I wanted to play that video at the beginning because I felt that video about Tommy, you know, it proves a lot about what, you know, Kanye is saying. Because I want to know, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I agree with the fact with Kanye statement. I don't agree with his whole interview, but I agree with that statement that everybody has a controversy over, that slavery was a choice after a while. Slavery became a choice, you know. I agree with that fact. I'm not even going to call it a fact. I'm going to agree with that perception, because not everybody want to see that as a fact. Everybody has their own perception. But I want to ask you guys out there, all of my the palm tree gang out here, you know, shout out to the palm tree gang. You guys are around my palm tree gang. This is real season. They got to respect this platform and just die. Get the fuck on. This whole platform is now is dedicated around this tape that I just dropped. Rio 1.5, guys. You can get that on all major platforms. I appreciate everybody who's been checking out my music and giving me feedback on the comments and things of that nature. You guys are amazing. But yes, I want to know how many of you guys agree with Kanye's statement. Not his interview, but his statement. because we were actually going to play the interview as well. I want to go through that interview. But I want to know how many of you guys agree with his statement that slavery was a choice. Now, I personally say after a while, like 400 years, come on. I mean, but after 150 years of that shit, it's starting to become a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a choice. Hey, after 20 years, it's a choice. Because 150 years is a lot of, 400 years is a lot of time to have passed when nobody or enough people got together and said, fuck it, we all gonna die. They can have this motherfucker, but I refuse to continue to get beat and mistreated. So let's get these shout outs crack-a-lacking. Let's see who we got in the chat. We're gonna start with the dirty page because the dirty page is lit. It's lit. We got about 20 people watching. Shout out to Jerome Bigham. He's in both chats. Cut the check. Shout out to the people. Cut the check. Elizabeth Harmon. This is her first time commenting, but she says she's been following the page for a while. I appreciate that, Elizabeth. Please follow You Got Knocked the Fuck Out TV as well, because you know how they like to flag and get a person's page taken down. My homie landlord, I hate that nigga. He said I hate that nigga. He's setting white folks up to get fucked up. Okay. White folks need to mind their fucking business. Okay. Scorpio Sting in the building, but she said she's driving home. She'll be on. She's driving home in a minute. Okay, cool. We got Sheila Sharpley. Tommy is a real bitch. Thank you for coming and leaving that comment. All comments, all opinions, we accept that. Just don't be one of those repetitive people who continuously, you know, put up the same thing, and then my moderators will time you out and get rid of you in some form of fashion if you keep making repetitive statements. Yeah, because we see you guys. We're gonna allow your statements to be seen. Cut the check. The show get better every day. Appreciate that, homie. Thank you. Jerome Bigham, aka Tyra, what's up, Don? Speaking to everybody. Lisa, what's up? Thank you for tuning back in. Lisa has become a profound listener as well over the last week or so, and I appreciate all the new listeners, all the people that's coming in, watching, you know, tuning in to Cheap Shots TV or my dirty page. And Cheap Shots TV will be back soon, guys. It comes back in June, if I'm not mistaken. I have Cheap Shots, the original, come back in either June or July, and Cheap Shots Extreme come back in July as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we'll have them back soon, guys. We'll have them back soon. Oh yeah, okay. Hey Jerome, I'm finna give you a moderator, bro. You know I rock with you. You got a wrench, bro. And when I get Cheap Shots TV back, I will be in Cheap Shots TV Extreme. I will be resetting my moderators. And if you don't have a moderator, if you don't have a wrench on this channel, or You Got Knocked the Fuck Out channel, there will be certain things you have to do to get a wrench on Cheap Shots TV and Cheap Shots Extreme. So you guys have to. I'm not gonna say you have to, but to be able to receive a wrench on one of those channels, you will have to be a strong supporter. You will have to be a very strong supporter, and that's just one of my things. I have a lot of people begging me for, not even begging, but like demanding me for wrenches. Like, give me a wrench, and I'm just not the type of person to just give wrenches out because you tell me to, you know. So, but they're definitely not for sale. I'm not selling my wrenches, but if you donate, that more than likely going to get you a wrench, because that shows a true, that really shows that you're supporting. But I take likes, shares, comments. I take those things just as valuable. They're just as valuable as people donating money. So get in the chat, man. Chop it up. You know, be active. Active supporters is all I'm asking for. Sheila says, so everyone signed up to be a slave. They were in shackles, forced. Word. All right, I'm finna go over to You Got Knocked the Fuck Out TV, and I want to get it into the and see who I got over there. Probably not many people. Not too many people are tuning in to You Got Knocked the Fuck Out TV yet. All right, we got about 5 people. Fact Talk, shout out to Fact Talk tuning in, saying yeah, finally caught this nigga show from the gate. I appreciate that. Jerome Bigham's in his chat as well. Shout out to Zachary Grayson. Hey, Dirty, what's up? Is his statement. And I would say, man, everything is great. I'm enjoying this new platform. I'm enjoying the new music that I've dropped. I'm enjoying the new support and the new fans I'm getting. I have nothing to complain about, man. Life is great, man. Life is amazing. Fact Talk said, I don't think it was a choice, but it was just easier to go with the program than to go against the grain for them. But damn, all that you got to take me out before you with me. Yeah, I agree, bro. See, that's what I'm saying. In this day and age, we have that mentality anyways. We have that mentality from what we was taught, right? We have that mentality from what we was taught to, I'm not finna let a motherfucker beat me, all right? But at the same time, we all work for somebody. And when you work for somebody, that's another form of slavery. Now, I know people are like, yeah, we got bills to pay. But that's been set up for so long that we are going to continue to allow 400 or 500 more years to happen before we say, hey, something more needs to change. We have to stop asking these people for shit and start getting it ourselves. So we're still on the same path. Like, slavery just got less aggressive, you know? But I personally feel like we're still in slavery, especially if we're not working to have our own. And that's something we're not doing, is working to have our own. We got people flagging platforms and shit like that, you know. We got people snitching on people who's trying to do right, you know, and you know, that's the whole thing, man. We've always had people who look like us but might not have the same mentality who want to keep us down, So at the end of the day, slavery has not ended, whether people want to admit that or not. So if you feel like slavery has ended, then you would not feel what Kanye is saying. You feel me? Because slavery hasn't ended. I'm sorry, slavery hasn't ended. Slavery will never end. You have to find everybody is not meant to be a leader or meant to be a head or meant to be on top. No matter how many. You can't tell me, none of you can tell me if you had, like that one movie, All the Money in the World, this motherfucker wouldn't even pay for his own grandson. Some motherfucker wouldn't even pay for you. Like, your own people wouldn't pay for you. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker wouldn't pay for you. You know, we all think we can save everyone when everyone don't want to be saved. That's just my perspective. I think we all got this perspective that everybody can be saved. Some people on this platform in YouTube land think that Tommy Sotomayor offers them a solution. Some people actually think True Freeman offers them a solution, offers black people a solution. That's not how this shit works. We offer ourselves a solution at the end of the day. Now, if a lot of like-minded people can come together and make some shit happen, then that's going to happen regardless. But everybody wasn't slaves. For 400 years, everybody wasn't a slave. Let's honestly. I wasn't trying to play that. I'm finna go into this video. All right, this video right here, guys, is Tommy Sotomayor talking about how he agreed with True Freeman. I mean, not True Freeman, but Kanye West.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tommy Sotomayor. This is TNN News Raw 2, and wherever else I put it. But I know you guys aren't used to or don't like long videos. So I'm going to give you a short video and then put some links in the description box if you would like to see the longer version. Everybody knows what's going on right now. Kanye West is being vilified for a statement that he made, and it goes a little something like this.
You hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years? That sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race, blacks and whites being one race, that we're the human race.
Now, that's an interesting statement. But it's not a new statement. It's not a new concept. As a matter of fact, yours truly did a video where he said,
slavery, yep. Black folks, slavery was an option. You chose slavery. It was a choice. You had an option. Let me explain something to you.
And after I did that video, way back in 2014 or 15, I got the same kind of backlash. Well, no, because nobody really knew me. I was relatively new, but a whole bunch of liberals came after me, especially the white ones, which was weird that white people were trying to tell black people, no, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. But the funny thing about that is, not only was he not the only one to say it, and I not the only one to say it, but a person that black people love a whole lot and they revere, and many people who've used this man as a point of reference for their movies and their stuff online. This guy, Dr. Claude Anderson, said this.
He said, why in the world they keep begging people? Why they keep begging people to get along with them rather than sit there and say, no, I'm not going to do that and demand rights and respect. He said, I don't like black folk. And I agreed. I said, you know what? You're right. Slavery would have ended, Barack. Slavery would not have.
The choice was to pick cotton or death. Honestly, I would have chose death, like a lot of motherfuckers who did. A lot of people chose death when they jumped off the boat and swam to Jamaica. But guess what? They made it to fucking Jamaica. I mean, at least that's what the history was now telling. You know, some of the slaves that jumped off the ships on the way to America, they made it to Jamaica and they found land and created civilization there. I don't know what to believe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to believe. I do know this, though. Right here. I would choose death or fighting to death before I allow anybody in any situation to whip me. You feel me? To whip me. I commit suicide. I ain't even gonna lie. But I refuse to allow a person to whip me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm not going through that. And I say that from what I know. I say that from what I know, and I know what I know from what they've told me happened, you know? So at the end of the day, answer me this. All right, answer me this, guys. Rape isn't a choice. Rape isn't a choice. Rape isn't a choice. Now, we cannot put rape and slavery in the same category. Now, Scorpio, you know I rocks with you, but that right there, that's too much. That's too much. That's the exact same reason they say you shouldn't put pedophiles in a situation of LGBT or gays. They said pedophiles shouldn't be put in gays. It's like a mental and just like murder. Murder happened inside of slavery. So you can't say that murder is a part of slavery when everybody kill. You know, everybody rapes. Men rape, women rape. Hell, we all do that, but not everybody is putting somebody in not everyone is enslaving everyone. You feel me? So I don't even want to put rape into, in it, because rape would never be a choice to be raped. Oh, she wore a dress too little, so she asked to be raped. No, she didn't know no better. No. Okay, now let me ask you guys this. I just want to ask you guys this. How many of you got, what up, Lauren? Thank you for tuning in over there on You Got Not the Fuck Out TV. How many of you guys feel that slavery, all right, the slavery that the slavery that that you was taught, how many of you guys feel like that was for everyone? Because you have to realize that there was some house niggas. There was some house niggas, right or wrong. People living in the house. People having privileges that you didn't have, right? Niggas that would snitch on you if you got out of line, right? There were some people who got off the boat that weren't slaves. That's why we have a lot of misconfusion, because we think everybody was slaves. Only ones that were slaves that didn't have any knowledge, that didn't have any skills other than doing what they do. They called them, basically, they felt like the barbarians of the culture in which they got these people from didn't know any better. They mentally didn't know anything. There was like, hey, you know how they say cavemen started the world and they make them all like monkey looking and all they do is like hit rocks, try to make fire and shit, So that's basically what they're trying to say that the people that was slaves were. Because if you had a skill, and things of that nature, they didn't have you enslaved like that. They felt you wasn't getting beat like that. Because first of all, you're their fucking cattle. You're their cattle. You're their fucking cattle. They make money off you. If you're bruised, if you're beat up, they can't get as much money off you. There was some fucked up mentality white folks that did a lot of bad shit to a lot of black people. They didn't know any better. They was just as fucked up as the people that was capturing. One and the same. You know, if those motherfuckers would have woke up, the black people would have woke up at any given time and said, hey, I'm not taking this shit anymore like they did at one point, guess what? That shit wouldn't happen as long in my perspective. That's my perspective. I'm not saying anybody else's perspective is wrong, but that's my perspective. Whites didn't own slaves. I don't know with whites or Europeans which one it was, but I mean, just like my skin color is brown. There's a lot of brown skinned people in this chat. I'm assuming. Do that make us different? Or are we the same just because we have the same skin color?
Lasted 1 month back in the 15th and 16th century. If black folks said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going for it. You can kill me if you want. That's fine. You lose money because you bought me. But I tell you, but if you try to enslave me, rob and rape me, and steal my kids and deny me the resources and to have a decent quality of life and my humanity for 300, 460 years, I'll die first. And I'll take you with me and your mama and your kids and your house, everything. But rape me and steal my kids and deny, begging people to get along with them rather than sit there and say, no, I'm not going to do that and demand rights, respect. He said, I don't like black folk. And I agreed. I said, you know what? You're right. Slavery would have ended, Barack. Slavery would not have lasted 1 month back in the 15th and 16th century if black folks said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going for it. You can kill me if you want. That's fine. You lose money because you bought me. But I tell you, but if you try to enslave me, rob and rape me, and steal my kids and deny me the resources and to have a decent quality of life and my humanity for 300, 460 years, I'll die first, and I'll take you with me and your mama and your kids and your house, everything else, and your dog. But see, black folk never stood up. And the worst part about it, in none of the African countries, in all this 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow segregation, the African country, that's why I said don't call blacks African Americans. They did not send not one boat. They did not send one boat to America to rescue or to the Caribbean 15 to 16 million who have been enslaved and mistreated and slaughtered. Didn't send one boat.
All right, what you guys feel about that? How do you guys? This is my first time seeing this, but how do you guys feel about what this man just said? Let me know. And I don't know. I don't get what y'all saying. I think Ralph is saying, all right, at the end of the day, you know, when you look at it, kings and queens, all right, you had one continent. You had about 10, 20 tribes who had kings and queens, right? Kings and queens. Everybody else was peasants. Everybody else was slaves. The Europeans built their fucking structure off of the African structure. Having a king and queen, having a fucking prince and a king and queen over there in Europe and shit. And the rest of everybody else was peasants. If you wasn't blood, you was a fucking peasant. You was treated as such unless you had high-ranking skills or you was family. Even some family members was peasants. What is a peasant? A fucking slave, a broke poor person, a person who begs and scrounge and ask another motherfucker for help. Begging the king and queen, the person with all the resources to give them something versus leaving and going and finding somewhere else. I think at the end of the day, we all think that in some form of fashion, we all like that life was always just great. And we all, yeah, if you go back in time when there was maybe like 3 or 4 tribes and everybody was separate, you know, before the fucking land broke apart and some people came to North America and made the Indians and some people went to the North and made the Europeans and, this, you know. So, yeah, if you're going to go that deep,
No way. Not the lion of pro-black economics. Not he of hidden colors. Not he of, oh, God, I don't know what that movie was by this man by the name of Jason White, where he was talking about black economics and all of this stuff, and he's just the best thing in the world, and he was the one who was talking about me, and both of these guys got together to make coon videos about me. Surely Dr. Claude Anderson did not say this. He did, strangely enough. So I said it, Dr. Claude Anderson said it, Kanye West said it, Malcolm X has said it, several people have said it, including a bit of what was said by the chick of the Underground Railroad, Harriet Tubman.
Hey guys, y'all really rock with me? Do y'all really rock with Chief Shots TV? You got knocked the fuck out TV. Your boy Dirty. Do y'all really rock with me? Like, if put up a 1 if you really rock with me, because I'm saying this right here. I want to play a movie. I don't want to play a video. I want to play a movie, and I want to sit here and I want to analyze this movie with you guys. Not today. If I do come back today, I'm gonna say tomorrow. Let me see what I got to do tomorrow. I got some business on tomorrow. I got a meeting. I think I can do it tomorrow. But I want to play a movie for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I've mentioned this movie before. You know what I'm saying? But I want to play a movie for you guys. It's on YouTube. I tell everybody to watch it, But I want to play this movie for you guys tomorrow or later on the day if you guys are available, because I think this movie and I don't even really want to be talking about race issues like this. I really just want to cover the Tommy Sotomayor and the internet beef and shit like that, because that's what I get my enjoyment out of. I think talking about race and racism, I think it causes more of a divide when you talk about it amongst your own people, because we all have so many different perspectives, and that's the problem. We would never come together because we have so many different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? And that's nothing wrong with that, but in that case, we all have to move accordingly in our own form and fashion until we run into the people that's like-minded enough to move like we move. So everybody coming to a new awakening every day, and I wanna share this video with you guys maybe tomorrow if you guys are available. But please be on standby for that.
She said she could have freed more slaves if they only knew they were in bondage. What she was talking about is running away, getting away.
All right, what's a coon? Good question, Ralph. I don't even know if I'm qualified to answer that question, because at the end of the day, I think we're all coons. You feel me? You technically have 5 perspectives. You have 5 mentalities after slavery. You have 5 mentalities after slavery. You have the coon mentality, which is a person who claims that everything that he does for the white man is legit, and he don't give a fuck if a person that look like him comes up or not. He gives a fuck about you. If you ain't got no money, you ain't talking about just making more money, then fuck you. He's going to go get this check from the white man. He's going to tell the white man everything you got going on if you ain't fucking with the white man like he fucking with the white man. So that's a coon, all right, in my perspective. But at the end of the day, we have the revolutionist who claims to be for you and claims to want to awaken you, but he just really want to sell you some shit that ain't real. All right, and then you have the gangster mentality, who I don't give a fuck about nobody but myself and his money, and anybody can die but the white man, because I shoot my own kind before I shoot a white man, type shit. And then you have the what's to call it? The insecure the coon would be the insecure motherfucker. The coon would be the insecure ass black dude or the black female who got futures like moles and shit on their face, but they feel like they uppity in the goddamn way. So that would fall in the same category. Then you have the I said the revolutionists, like the polites and your Sinettas and you motherfuckers who claim they can change the world, your Farrakhan's. Come on, man, stop that shit. They set up these 5 mentalities just for you. Oh, and then you got the motherfucker, whatever happens, happen. I'm more of that type of guy, I guess you can say. With them, I'm a mixture of all of them guys, I guess, you know what I'm saying? We all are, some of us are a mixture of all of those mentalities. But at the end of the day, those are basically the 5. Because that last motherfucker, whatever it is, what it is. If the white people winning, shit, whoo, I'm over here with the white people. The black people winning, hey, I'm over here with the black people. And if ain't nobody winning, then shit, fuck everybody, man. I'm just cooling. I'm just waiting for everything to, pop off. Everything will be cool. That type of mentality, So, You know, it's just, I hate the world. I hate the word. I hate that word. I hate that word. Tomorrow, I'm on nights 30. This world is fucked up. 30 was. Oh, what word y'all hate? Coon?
Getting out of there, not standing pat. Now, if you think that's something, maybe I can find a place where people really, really love that concept. I mean, something that everybody universally loved and no one criticized. As a matter of fact, when I saw the movie, I then pointed out that he said what I said that everybody got mad about, but nobody got mad about it when he said it. Who was it? Killmonger. Where was it? Wakanda.
Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Right. Exactly. I said the same thing when I watched that movie. Death is better than bondage. I am not going back to fucking bondage. I refuse to go back to bondage. All right. And then some people be like, all right, do you believe in reincarnation? Well, yeah, if I believe in reincarnation, or if I believe in life after death, or if I believe heaven and hell, if I commit suicide and I reincarnate in hell, then I'm going to burn to death in forever, eternity. All right. Or if I kill myself, then that means I'm not going to heaven. So they've mentally fucked us up with religion. All right. So if I kill myself, then I won't go to heaven. I would just be here. I mean, I would just be in hell for eternity. So I can't kill myself. So I can't fight back my masters because God told me not to do that. I can't murder because that'll put me in hell as well. So I'm more like, hey, I'm a reincarnate. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a reincarnate back on this fucking earth. If I die, whether it's murder or suicide or in some type of fight for my life, if I die, I can either be born back in the exact same time where shit is worse, where shit is exactly as it is, or I can be born in a new time where shit is better, or I can be born in a whole nother, lifespan, which I don't know. But at the end of the day, I would choose death over being in bondage. Me personally, that's what I say. I would choose death over bondage. And as we see here, would this be considered a suicide? Would this be considered a suicide on his behalf due to the fact that he said, hey, bro, I can take you down the road and we can save you because you're not dead yet. But he chose to push the knife on through him to go ahead and kill himself and say, nah, I'm good. I'm going to just go ahead and die here versus being bondage. So, like, you feel me? Like, is he going to heaven or hell? Or is he just going to come back as a new being?
Well, what kind of sorcery is that? Yep, it was in the movie that everybody claimed that they love. The exact same statements stating that I would rather die than to live under you. Patrick Henry, give me freedom, or give me liberty, or give me death. Braveheart, the movie 300. You can keep going. The United States of America literally went to war against another country over tax.
I really have to agree with Tommy right here, guys. I'm sorry if you guys don't like Tommy. If you do, I don't care about none of that. But I honestly have to agree with Tommy in his opinion right here in this given time and space. Whether you like it or not, or whether who you are, if you're Tommy supporter, I agree with Tommy. If you're not, then that's cool. But right now, Tommy is not the only one that ever said this, nor has ever known this or felt this. So I can't throw him under the bus if anybody feel bad about Tommy speaking this.
And they refuse to pay the taxes. You have several people who have just died and would rather die for a cause than live for someone else. This is not a stretch. And
hey, Scorpio's thing, the choice was to, everybody didn't pick cotton. Everybody wasn't in the field. You feel me? That's why I want to play this video for you guys for so bad. Like, and I want to talk to you guys about this, but I really want to play this Kanye situation because I want to get into this. How you guys feel about Kanye? Do you guys feel like Kanye is speaking the truth in any form or fashion? I personally feel like I can't take it seriously because he admitted to taking psychiatric drugs that balance him. So this is basically just both of his egos and himself merging as one and speaking something of what he's been trying to say for so long. But I can't take it seriously because I don't know if he really believes it. I don't really know if he really takes himself seriously to that notion. All right, you said servants too. That's what I'm saying. Do you think how many servants got away with disrespecting their masters when the Egyptians were kings and queens? If you didn't do what your master said, you was killed. You was beheaded. You was put on the guillotine. You was all of these things. Like, I don't get why we feel as if slavery only happened in the United States. Slavery, you was sold, you came from slavery. Your ancestors, I'm not going to say you, your ancestors, quote unquote, came from slavery and was put into more slavery by a different culture, which was the white man or the Europeans, who took the basis of what they learned from the from the Egyptians, and the Europeans, who the Europeans took from the motherfucking Egyptians and implemented that in the United States to get what they thought was the growth or the beginning of a new civilization when they already had a civilization there. On that notion, when they figured civilization already lived there, they had to kill that civilization out to claim the land was theirs, right? Okay, some of those Indians were enslaved, but guess what? Those Indians, you couldn't force those Indians to do shit. You couldn't force those Indians to eat. You couldn't force those Indians to mate. You couldn't force them Indians to work. Those Indians didn't give a fuck. They would rather die or starve themselves to death before they did anything or that a motherfucker told them to do, because they knew that they had a choice. They knew they had a choice, and they made their choice. That's why the Indians have their own little reservations and shit. If they had guns, I'm pretty sure they would have had something more than reservations. But they had, at least they had bow and arrows and stones and shit. So we didn't even have that. We didn't even fucking have that. But one thing we did have was numbers. We had fucking numbers. We outnumbered the white man by thousands then. By thousands. Just saying. That was 100 black people to one white home. You had 100 black people in one white family.
Let me finish by telling you blacks this. There was a movie that was just done by Mr. Pro-Black himself. It was about the Haitian Revolution, and the Haitian Revolution was about a bunch of black slaves who fought to the death for their freedom. That's how they got Haiti. They fought against the French and won their freedom. There's several others who tried to do this. We love Nat Turner. Nat Turner died trying to fight against his oppressors. And we love in movies and everywhere else talking about martyrs. Jesus Christ died for what he believed in. These people chose death. You read all throughout the Bible, black people love to quote the Bible. You got the three, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, all were thrown into the fiery furnace because they refused.
Scorpio, out of everything that's wrong with the black community, Tommy is one of the problems. On a scale from from the first major problem in the black community to the last, well, I'm not even gonna say to the last, to the top 20 problem, where do Tommy rank? In the top 20 problems of the black community, where do Tommy rank?
To denounce their God. These are stories black people love to tout. The Bible is full of people who, instead of denouncing their God, took death. Now, if you can say these things and you can tout these people and prop them up, then why would me saying slavery is a choice be strange? You look at the movie.
I can't. I want to agree with you, but I definitely really can't agree with you, all right? Because it's not even about the message Tommy has. Because I think people look for Tommy for the wrong reasons. People think Tommy's supposed to say what he says because you feel like he's right, but then y'all expect for Tommy to give y'all a solution behind what he says. But that's not what it is. See, I feel like Tommy says what he says. Tommy points out some certain issues in the black community. I even agree with some of the things Tommy points out in the black community. The way he feels and the way he responds and he reacts to what he feels a problem is his problem. Not my problem. I don't think it's a problem for me as a black person. I think it's more of a problem for him. Like, Tommy causes his own, hate and black people hating him, because of his antics after he says what he says. Because a lot of people agree with what he says, but a lot of people don't agree with the fact that he doesn't offer a solution. We are looking, but some people are looking for Tommy to offer a solution after he says what he says. But I personally think that he's just stating what a lot of us think. But at the same time, a lot of people that listen to him just want him to say, so what's the solution? But he don't have a solution. His solution is, I don't give a fuck what y'all do. I'm going to continue to fuck these bitches, send them home, fuck the white bitches, send them home, get y'all money, and that's how he feels. And a lot of people feel like that's a problem. You're not offering a solution. Dirty, that whip in fear was a motherfucker. Bruh, you right. That whip in fear was a motherfucker. But at the end of the day, there's nothing I can say, man. You know what? Zachary, you got me, bro. You got me. Dirty, that whip in fear was a motherfucker. You totally right, bro. There's some people are afraid now. People are afraid now to take a stance on their own life. So you're totally right. I have nothing to say against that. I have nothing to say against that. So many people right now have, they have so much fear. They fear death. They fear, they fucking fear living. So many people are alive right now, but they're not living. But we're not living. And when I mean about not living, it's about if you go to your job, all right, and you go to this motherfucker every day, and 4 out of the 5 days you're there, and the only day you're happy at work is when you finna get paid and you off for the weekend, then you're not fucking living. You're alive, but you're not living. There's a difference. It's a difference. You know what I mean? Do you work to live, or do you live to fucking work? If you answer that question on the latter, then on the motherfucking, in the biggest perspective of it all, you and the rest of the motherfuckers are a slave. Are a slave. Point blank. Do you live to work, or do you work to live? Sheila, I never said I agree with that. I don't hate my own race. I don't hate the color of my skin. I don't think black women are the overall cause of the black community's problems. No. But I think a lot of the problems can be fixed through the black woman. Now, it might sound crazy, excuse me, but I feel like a lot of our problems in our community can be fixed through the black woman. I say this because I know the black woman is stronger than the actual black man. For real. The black woman is stronger than the black man. They go through way more than what a black man go through. Black women done been beat, stomped, raped, pushing babies out of them, all of that. And they still make it through. But at the end of the day, I know they're not the overall problem, but there's a lot of things that they do that causes major problems. I'm not even going to speak on it. That is my perspective. I'm not here to change anyone's life. I can't change none of you guys' lives. If I could, I would have been done it. If I could change any of you guys' lives, I would have been done it. Point fucking blank. It ain't no I'm going to change your life in the next 5 years. I'm going to change your life in the next 10. No, if I could change your life, I would have been done it.
300. You look at all of these places where blacks, whites, and other nations believe in the idea of fighting for one's freedom. No matter if it's just economic oppression, physical oppression, mental oppression. Now, that being said, you got to ask yourself, why is it the white liberals are jumping in this conversation?
Yeah, Scorpio, black men are weak. Black men are weak. Black men are weak for the wrong reasons. You feel me? Not for the right reasons. They're weak for the wrong reasons. All right, there we go again. Provide and protect. Black men can't beat white men in a fight, so how they weak? Okay. Get involved in more local elections. Provide and protect. How many of you guys feel like it's the black man's duty to provide and protect? All right, now if you take it back to the caveman days, it was the woman's duty to what, cook and clean? Who created that concept that it was a man's notion to provide and protect? I don't hate blacks, I hate niggas. I read that.
And trying to jump up against Kanye West. And with myself, when I did the video, it was some white dudes I never heard of. Took my video and clowned me for a year over it. I want you black people to hear this before we go. Why are the white liberals trying to tell you, you couldn't help being enslaved? Why are they getting mad at me for saying it was a choice then? Well, I'll tell you.
My point exactly. You said history says that. History says that. History evolves. History evolves. And do you mean to tell me, Scorpio Sting, that your ancestors were smarter than you are now? Were your ancestors and your predecessors smarter than you are right now at this given moment? Are they smarter? So whose history is more prevalent in this matter? Yesterday or 500 years or 5,000 years ago? Whose history is more prevalent?
Because if you can wake black people up or any people up and let them know that you present to the opposition, it ain't going down like that. Because that's what the Jews do. Jews say it'll never happen again. Jews remind themselves of what happened in the Holocaust so they know it'll never happen again. They put themselves in position to never, ever, ever be under somebody's foot like that, that they will fight to the death. And black folks, if you had that mentality, people would negotiate with you different. Look at what happened with the Vietnamese. We were fighting them. They were saying, we're on our home court and we're going to do what it takes to kick you out. It's a different dynamic fighting against someone like that. Same thing happened with the colonists. If black people just understood the mistake that was made in the past and that they wouldn't do it again, we're in no way dissing the people of the past. And on the contrary, we're saying, here's the mistakes they made and we won't make it. Maybe they didn't know any better, but once you start having a generation and a generation and a generation in slavery, they start to get used to it. We as blacks did not sit down at one table and sign a treaty to get our freedom.
Scorpio Sting, I've been on that path of being a hotep nigga. I've been on that path of being but what I found was that there were slaves in Egypt. There were slaves praising the kings and queens. The kings and queens treated the peasants like shit. why they ate like royal kings and queens did. Who the fuck pronounced them to be the kings and queens? Everybody in America seem to think they're all kings and queens for some fucking reason. Like they bloodline won't go all the way back to them being some fucking king and queen. I don't understand why what paying homage. We don't know what we paying homage to. We don't know. There's no history. I can't read fucking Latin. I can't read Latin. I don't read Sumerian text. So I should go back as far as to read Sumerian text, one of the first civilizations to ever be recorded to being here outside of the Egyptian culture. Like, or should I go back to the Bible, what the Bible said about Adam and Eve being the first man and woman here, and I should give them homage? Who am I really giving homage to? Is it the sun god? Is it who is it I'm really supposed to be giving homage to? Because I don't think praising any or personifying any person or figure is going to give you the strength to move forward in life. Knowing that history is cool. I know my history, but I will not dwell in my history. Dwelling in your history means you cannot live in your future. You feel me? I cannot dwell in my history because I'm living in my future. I don't see those kings and queens. I see us as being something of that nature. If I keep looking back, that's for me to look back and get motivation. But I can't dwell there. I cannot dwell in my history. I can only live in my future.
It was given. So until we honestly are willing to fight and die for it, we're going to continue to be looked at, as Dr. Claude Anderson said, as weak. Please go to the website and you can see the entire show that I did where I had call-ins, people talking about Kanye West and their opinion about slavery being a choice. You can also go and see the entire interview of Dr. Claude Anderson.
I feel like we're all on this conscious grid. We're all on this conscious grid. If I think something today, there's very possible that somebody's going to be thinking the exact same thing. You know, we're never the first one to think something because I feel like we're all connected on this conscious grid anyways. We're all like-minded people just on a path and a conscious grid just searching for information and knowledge, right? So I just feel like spiritually, you know, we can't say that we're spiritually disconnected, you know, when we don't know what we're supposed to be spiritually connected to. What are we supposed to be spiritually connected to? When people say the world is going to end, what is the world? You don't live on a world. You live in a world that you create. We live on a earth. How many times have you ever heard anybody say the earth is going to end? The earth is going to end. How many times have we ever heard that? We always hear the world is going to end. The world is something we created. It's an illusion that we create, that we live in our everyday lives, which means your world can end tomorrow. Your world can end right now. But at the end of the day, everything else is going to keep going on. Everybody's not broke. Everybody's not doing bad in life. There's a lot of people out here doing really, really good in life who look just like you. Are we going to say they coon their way to that position, or are we going to, or can we say that they use the knowledge or the motivation of their ancestors to put them in that position? That's fact. I can't disagree with you there. Knowledge of self is first. You got to know who you are first. But then we don't know who we are because we are so trapped in this social structure that we're just bits and pieces of everybody else. You can change tomorrow. The moment you get mad, the moment you allow somebody to make you mad, you lost yourself then, right? The moment you allow information or someone talking to you sideways to get you out of character, then you've lost yourself then. That's not knowing yourself. None of us really knows ourselves because we're constantly evolving. But you must know what you're evolving into.
Anderson with Rock Newman sitting in front of a white.
All right, Sheila says, I think Sheila said we should be giving homage. Oh, we should be, hold on. We should be spiritually connected to God. One thing I don't get involved in is religion and the God. Like I said, personification. I can't give anyone personification. I don't want to personify God. I can't personify a spiritual being that's that's the one that we're all connected to. I can't personify it as God or anything, or the higher source, whatever you guys want to call it. But I just choose to say, we're spiritually connected. That's all I know. We're spiritually connected. I don't know to what means, by what means, but spiritual connection is there.
White man, and again, white people, you may not know who Dr. Claude Anderson is, but if you look him up, you'll see that black folks love this man. So why is it that I get criticized, he doesn't? Kanye gets criticized, he doesn't. Maybe it's because he got light skin privilege. Who knows? Because he's closer to white, maybe we accept it. Or maybe because there was no reason to be really outraged, because we were right. Saying that slavery was a choice does not diminish the deaths that happen. What it should do is encourage us to never let it happen again. And if you couldn't understand that, then that's why we are in the position that we are in America, under the foot of this so-called white supremacy. The white liberals are the main ones arguing with you that the point is wrong. So who does that tell you wants to see you in the position you're in? The white liberals, the Democrats. It's them saying, you couldn't help it. Yes, you could. Because it's as easy as saying, hell no, you paid for me and you're going to lose it all by mistreating me. You better treat me like a human because you done paid for this.
This is what we would have done. Then we would literally look at it and say, those people had a choice. As a matter of fact,
that's why I can agree with a lot of things. I can agree with a lot of things that Kanye has stated, because we have this notion that wrong and right is out there. Like, I can't tell no one what they're doing in life if it feels right to them that they're doing something wrong. I have no place on this earth to tell anybody, or to force anybody to feel what they feel is right is wrong because of my perception. If a person believes Christianity is the way to get to heaven, then hell, I am not the person to tell them they're wrong. I am not. No one is. No one has the right to tell anybody if they're right or wrong, because it's your perception. Your perception was built up off of your experiences. Your experiences created your feelings towards certain things. Not everybody experienced the same thing the exact same way. So I have right and wrong. Man, that's good and evil. That's God and the devil. It's one and the fucking same. That's me, though. All of that shit is one and the same. You can't have good without bad. If there was no bad in the world, you wouldn't know what the fuck good was. If there was no pain in the world, you wouldn't know what pleasure was. If there wasn't any opposite of anything, you wouldn't know what anything was. You would just be living, point blank. If a person who never experienced pain before, or never seen anybody get killed or shot, go their whole life, and you wake up and you see a motherfucker get shot, if the noise don't shock you or the gunshot, and you just see a motherfucker dead, you don't know what that is. You wasn't taught. It is what it is.
In fact, they could have made it to where white people had no want to get black folks no more, because black folks just literally kept choosing death instead of to be slaves, and they would have stopped going.
It would have been no point. It would have been no point. It would be a waste of money. Yes. They could have, black folks, we could have literally ended the slave trade by just if a first group of waves of black people were like, we're not going. The white people who borrowed that money to buy those ships to
they
come over.
Lost, but they would have been in debt. They would have been too busy trying to fight off the king to get their money back to even do it.
Right. It would have, because it's the same thing that happened to the Indians. The reason the Indians weren't enslaved because they kept on damn fighting. Now, ain't none of them left, but they were already here. They were here. They had to go to Africa to get Africans. They wouldn't have kept going back to Africa to get Africans. They kept killing them. The hell, I watched the movie RoboCop. They had a hard time getting police officers because every time they turned them into robots, they kept shooting themselves. They said, we can't keep doing this. They keep killing themselves. So black folks, blame yourself for the position that you're in. Pretty much every position that black people are in today in America, it's their own fault. Now, I know that's coon talk, but if you go back and you think about it, almost everything we're doing, it's our position.
I'm out.
Bro, we ain't get to do nothing, man. I was just happy to have a key card. Break down, or I like to say to break through.
What do you think?
Yo, you right, man. We've talked about, I think people have been talking about slavery more this week than they actually talked about it in fucking February. Actual Black History Month. I don't think people talk about slavery this much even in Black History Month. Like real spill.
Caused the mental breakdown?
Fear, stress, control, being controlled, manipulation, like being a pawn in a chess piece of life, stressing things that create like validation.
All right, how many of you guys get that? How many of you guys feel what Kanye is saying? A lot of people won't get what Kanye is saying. He say he feel like a pawn in the chess game of life. If you guys don't know that you're a fucking chess piece, you're a pawn. If you work for somebody else, you are a fucking pawn. You might become a rook. Like I said, culture, civilization, and every social structure on the fucking earth has been built off of this chess game that black people, quote unquote, created chess, right? The Egyptians created chess. All right, you got a king, a fucking queen. All right, you got 2 rooks. You got 2 bishops. You got 2 knights. You got that's it. And then you got a whole fucking row of pawns. You can have a whole lot of goddamn pawns, but you only gonna have 2. You're gonna have 1 king, 1 queen, 2 bishops, 2 rooks, 2 knights. That's protection. That's protection. You feel me? Them people right there can actually talk to the king and queen and have shit done. You feel me? A motherfucker who's just a pawn in life, a pawn. Think about it. You can't do shit but fight. Move one direction in life, and you got to ask permission to do everything. You got to ask permission for everything. You got to ask the king and queen and the bishops and the rooks for everything. You are a slave. No matter what you think, as long as you keep investing time and energy into another motherfucker and what they got building, and they're not giving you nothing back, but a couple days off, a week, a paid vacation, then you are a slave. Just because you're not getting whipped and beat doesn't mean anything. The smartest thing a motherfucker could have done was figure out a new way to save their product.
That I didn't need to worry about as much. And you know, this is the concept of competition and being in competition with so many, you know, elements at one time. On a race against time, your age, oh yo, you getting old. Race against popularity on the radio. Khaled got this song, Drake got this song on the radio, it's playing to death. St. Pablo ain't playing. I could take the whole interview.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Nah, it's interesting though, because you've been the guy that has always created a flow, not gone with the flow. So it seems like you were a little upset that you weren't a part of the flow?
It was weird. I was looking at, you know, we're doing St. Pablo.
Hey, Scorpio Sting, the whole world didn't fight back against oppression. They fought back against the white man complaining about union in the North. And let's realize that, all right, if we want to keep it 1,000 about slavery, slavery was in a section of the southern area that we talk about. We talk about Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, South Carolina. You're talking about Virginia, and you're talking about Tennessee. That's about all you're talking. Them out of 50 states, which we only had 13 colonies. We're talking about out of 50 states, slavery was only prevalent for real in the southern regions, like we talk about. The southern regions. So when the oppressors lost that war, that civil war, they lost it because the northern states didn't let that shit go. Some northern states weren't even knowing slavery. They wouldn't even come to the South because they weren't fucking with them type of people. So it was, the United States was two different places. The South and the North was two different places. That's something we failed to realize, that slavery was only prominent in the southern regions and still prominent in the southern regions. It's still a white man world. All right. If this is a white man's world, I'm talking to you on a white man's mic. I'm talking to you on a white man's internet. I'm talking to you. I had my baby by a white man's girl. I'm debating white man's concept. I'm debating, this is whatever you created to be. If you live your life angry at a white man for your life being the way it is, that's on you. Other people are here finding ways to get out of that or to maneuver around it, because you cannot beat this game. This game was built and set up for a reason. It's a perfect system. It's a perfect system that we, everybody that goes against it is broke. Everybody that goes against the system is broke and bitter. How is that happiness? There are some white men who goes against the system. Oh, Louisiana, my bad. There's some white men who goes against the system, and guess what they do? They go buy land off grid. They live off grid. They do their shit off grid. They don't even be on the internet fucking off with other white people like that. But at the end of the day, they play the game until they put themselves in a position to get off the grid and stop having to deal with these people. That's what it's all about. Get in a position where you don't have to be in a position. It's a game of chess. How many of you guys out there play chess? Keeping it real. How many of you guys out there really know how to play chess?
And the cultural impact is incredible, but I'm looking for other forms of validation when there's other frequencies and other currencies. So just because it's not playing on the radio, of course we had, Father Stretches in the club and on the radio a bit, like it went to #1. But to put that same amount, if not more work into a piece of work, and then you're used to it coming out like graduation, where everything is everywhere, it's frustrating. And really, ever since the Taylor Swift moment, it had never been the same, the connection with radio. It's like, whatever powers that be, it was much harder after that. And then also,
Sheila, this is what I'm saying. Who rules the world? No one rules the world. No one. It's your choice to go and work for that white man. It's your choice to go and work for whoever man who owns that factory. It's your choice to live in an apartment in the city. It's your choice to drive a car in the city. It's your choice to live in this structure in which that's been built for a society. If you want to build your own community, the exact same thing that Kanye West said. You know how many people it takes to build a community? Let me ask you guys that. Do any of you know how many people it takes to start a community? An actual fucking community. How many people does it take to actually start a community, guys?
LA,
leaving Universal, like, you know, he had that radio locked. So if you're an artist and you sign to a major label, you want to be on the radio, especially if you popular, if you popping, you know, if you're one of the most famous people on the planet and people love your music and all the best artists in the world are coming to your concert and all friends is like, you know, Snapchatting themselves at the shows and you selling merch out like that, it seems like, okay, radio should just be intact. And it might be just a piece of information that I was missing that wasn't being expressed to me that I didn't understand. Because at the end of the day, someone's controlling it, and I didn't understand it. But the radio element was just one of the factors. There's like, you know, the situation with my wife in Paris, and all of the elements of like you feeling like, you know, helpless. You feeling like, what can you do? 1,000, you know, I had like went to Paris on that trip to protect her, but not protect her, you know, physically, but to go and just help her with her looks because she's in Paris. So I'm like, let me put my eye on it personally while she's out in Paris to make sure she busts these niggas' ass, blah, blah, you know, just so some, like, get fly. And one of the things that she said that she heard is that they were coming to rob her and they had to wait till I had left. And when I finally, and that the people would have been strategizing and scheming on that for a long time. So when she probably got to Paris by herself, they were like, okay, this is our chance. Next thing you know, I get off on the flight the next day. And they were like, oh, okay, we gotta like fall back. And then, you know, when I left a couple days later, I'm on stage and I hear that my boy Sakai comes up to me and says, you know, your wife was robbed. And at that point, I didn't know the whole element or the whole story of what was happening. Previous to that, you know, just 1 week before that, or 2 weeks before that, I'd done a fashion show. And I was 45 minutes late. And they LeBron'd me, bro. Like, remember when LeBron went to Miami? And they just killed him and like burned his like jersey and all that. It's like, I just done MSG. Young Thug on stage, you know, and then go and plug in an iPhone with 16,000 people. Everybody in the audience, whoever you want to name and shit, you know, streaming, live, all this, like a breakthrough. And soon as I was 45 minutes late, I felt it was the fashion community getting the right to say nigger without saying it. To be like, yo, we know you come through stepping on necks and all that and what you do in your approaches, things and stuff, but if you get out of line, boy, we gonna roast you. And it affected me because I'm an artist, and it affected me like emotionally. It's like all these things were like almost set up to put me on meds, to break me down. The robbery, like I don't know where that came from. Was that a bigger plan, a bigger setup? You know, also just be on stage 4 times a night. I mean, 4 times a week. You know, you get exhausted up there.
So you was mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted, everything.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Did you go to therapy at all? Because I feel like this is a lot to unpack. And I'm sure you're the go-to guy for a lot of people. So it's like, who does the go-to guy go to? So I'm sure you had to go to some therapy or something.
Nah, I use the world as my therapy, as my therapist. Anyone I talk to is my therapist. I will pull them into the conversation of what I'm feeling at that point and get their perspective. Sometimes they be like, damn, I'm talking to Ye. I'm not expecting to talk about this. I'll talk through things. Anybody that I'm around, and I put that as advice to people. It's like, use people around you as your therapist. Because they probably know more about you. Like a therapist is like, does a crash course in Ye and then comes and it's like, want to give you, some advice. And I'm not saying that the therapists are bad. I'm just saying that I like just talking to acquaintance, friends, family, and I keep them on the phone, for 45 minutes at a time, talking through things. It's like, it's kind of narcissistic, you know? Talk about my problems, using the energy, even like just them being a sounding board and talking through it. So,
but when it comes to, you know, I guess mental health, so to speak, you seem to be in a good space mentally. So how did you get there? You just talk through it with people, or was it music? We see you returning to Twitter now. Is just getting these thoughts out therapeutic for you?
Yeah, but I'm not even, the thoughts that I'm getting out on Twitter right now, and that, you know, I think everything is therapeutic, but I'm not doing it as a, you know, a form of personal therapy. It's just an innate feeling I want to express. Mm-hmm. I decided to use this platform to express some breakthroughs.
Hey, Zach, are you asking me, or that's an assumption you're trying to make?
That I've had since going to the hospital. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are some of those breakthroughs? You know, you said something about the fashion world and how you felt like when you was 45 minutes late, they tried to cut your head off. It's kind of the same thing with Taylor Swift. When you got on stage and you know, interrupted her acceptance. It's like, do you feel like whenever you're in spaces where you're tolerated as opposed to celebrated, they remind you of that?
Oh yeah, you get reminded all the time. But the reminders don't mean nothing to me anymore because I've broken it. Mm-hmm. You know, this is a Hermes level existence at this point. You know, like you look at a Birkin bag, the way it's made, the more scratches on it, the more value it has. Mm. You know, so all those things, those pieces of the story have created who I am today, and I wouldn't turn down anything. Like I would.
The way you answer that question at DURDY for self with the exclamation marks, it's almost like a title. I like that, for self. I might make a song like that. Shout out to the motivation. But Zachary, for self, bro, on the notion, if you're not for self first, you can never be for anyone else. A person in a bad position can't put a person in a bad position in a good one. So there's always a point in life where you're for yourself until you have to be for others, or you really need to be for others, because you can't be for somebody if you haven't got yourself in a good position. You can't put nobody else in a good position. Most time when two people are in a bad position, when one person get in a good position, the other person starts to hate on the other person, like the other person is going to forget about them. Like the person in a good position is going to forget about them. So how many couples you know who literally start off together broke, end up rich together? Like, keep it real. How many couples have you ever met in life started off together as broke people, and then in the next 10, 15 years, they rich or they very wealthy? How many people you know that's been in a relationship where one of the persons or both of the people are broke, and then one of the people end up with a good job or a great job, and the other person feel like, well, they're not bringing in enough to the table no more, so they got to go. You got this little job, you changing on me. You feel like a new person, don't you? That's the way we've been built.
I would be thinking about you as I was recovering, and I always thought, I'm gonna go and talk to Charlamagne first. And I just wanted to say, like, there was elements about going to the hospital and having a breakdown or a breakthrough that was fire. It was incredible. The feeling was incredible. You know, well.
All right, let me make this statement right here before we move on to Kanye's interview. I have met a lot of people. Like, I've been seeing people come into the knowledge since I was about 14 years old. My cousin was one of the first people I ever seen come into the knowledge. And then once they got the knowledge, you know, other people started, you know, dimming them as it's crazy and shit like that. So let's not forget that Kanye West is a part of the music industry. The music industry is profoundly known for their quote-unquote involvement in the quote-unquote Illuminati that exists underground or behind the scenes, and they pull the strings on everything. So if you guys are not familiar with that, then so be it. But we all know that Masonic practices, Freemasonry, is something that we have seen Kanye West and Jay-Z promote for the last 10 years. All right. The whole little Watch the Throne situation, that was built off of Masonic practices. All of that knowledge was through a Masonic practice. So I don't know if Kanye himself is a Masonic. You know, I don't know if Kanye himself sacrificed his mom as a sacrifice, you know, for the Illuminati. I don't know any of this, and this is why he have these demons. I don't know, but I do know that he was into Freemasonry heavy. I don't know if he himself was a Freemason or Jay-Z was just giving him the knowledge. You feel me? Because he mentions a lot of times throughout this interview that he just wanted the information. Basically, he wanted the information, but he didn't want to how to do certain things for the information. Jay-Z, being his brother, his people, his family, should have just gave him the information. That's what he kind of explains in his interview, if you ask me. All right, the information, guys, causes people to do one or two things. One or two things. The information causes people to do one or two fucking things. To either grow, evolve, and move forward, or cause your ass to dwindle and go fucking crazy, because you cannot decipher all of that information. All the information that is available now on the internet for the human's consumption will make the average person who didn't even finish fucking regular school go crazy. How the fuck you supposed to analyze, decipher, understand this shit when you didn't get a basic concept of fucking basic English, or a basic fucking a concept of psychology, a basic concept of anything? You barely passed math, motherfucker, and you think you have all this profound knowledge just because you read a few motherfucking blogs and heard a few lectures on YouTube. You feel me? So this shit, the more knowledge these guys get, and they can't get the knowledge they think they're looking for because the answers are still not prevalent and they still can't see, they go crazy. They feel like, oh, that was a lie and this is a lie. I don't know what to believe. Stop believing every fucking thing you read. Go do your own research. Go do your own motherfucking studies and come up with your own conclusions. Even Einstein went fucking crazy. Einstein got so deep into the fucking numbers, he kept finding new answers that he went fucking crazy. Knowledge make you crazy. Point blank. That shit make you weird and crazy. I'm not saying be dumb, but when Eve ate that motherfucking, quote unquote, ate that fruit off that tree, and for all you, some of you Christian people out there in the world, when she ate that fruit, she gained knowledge. Then the bitch started doing crazy shit. Started trying to put clothes on. You feel me? Started doing extra shit. So knowledge is power. Knowledge is key, but knowledge is fucking dangerous.
On the song St. Pablo, I said, I'm praying an outer body experience will happen so people can see my light and know it's not just rapping. You have the context of rap. Here go one related. I want to talk about rap. Here go one related to what I was saying about the fashion show. So if my name pops up in a publication, and you know, today I don't want to use white, black, the black man show, all too much of that. I want to modernize, but I want to speak about the concept of racism as something that is something we're in, it's something of the past, it's something we'll break in the future. So I say this, you know, if it's a white publication, if they use the word rapper, they not saying that in a complimentary way. They trying to say that to not classify it in a Howard Hughes, Picasso's, you know, Einstein
just say artists.
Way. Yeah, artists or just person or something. Just who I am. Whatever. Say my.
Like I said, the reason why I can't take Ye as serious as I want to is because this is the same shit he's been saying, right? He's been saying this shit from day one. College Dropout, all of his music was conscious, you know. But then he started doing other shit because he was in the industry. And this is what he's saying in his interview. I had to start doing other shit. I had to maneuver certain type of ways to kind of counter everything I was saying because they was trying to blackball me anyway. So when I started maneuvering like they wanted me to maneuver, then they still was trying to, the people that I was trying to fuck with from the jump started calling me crazy. I make a song about a gold digger, then I marry a gold digger. You know, oh yeah, this kind of country fuck addicting, but you know, you did it, and you have to live with those choices, Jay. And that shit starts to play with your mentality. If you speak something and then you do something, you're lying. It's called a lie. You say you don't fuck with gold diggers, and then you marry a gold digger. You are a liar. You can't. Then you go out in public and say, no, I'm not a liar. I'm still Kanye West. I'm still the guy that says, I don't fuck with your gold diggers. Yeah, she ain't nothing but a gold digger. Yeah, so you are that person, but then you're not that person. Who the fuck are you really? You're confusing us. Not only are you confusing us, you're confusing your damn self, yay. And I can't take you serious because you said that you take psychotics. And if you take psychotics, I can't take this perspective truthfully because this is all of your characters merging together and they're speaking. You feel me? Trying to make everything you've been trying to say over the last few years make sense. Oh, Vic blocked you. He was smoking a blunt and drinking a beer. Shout out Vic DeVoe, man. Army of Vic.
My name and whatever, just say my first name. Right. Just say half of my first name. Just say yay. Yeah. Whatever. Right. And whatever someone takes from that, then cool. And then say what happened.
So Ye says being a rapper or being labeled a rapper is demeaning, is demoralizing. It doesn't make him as great as a Picasso or a Da Vinci.
Just leave it there. Don't put no extra sauce on it. So when they put the rapper, and then they'll say something I'll say that's like absolutely inspired, but if they put it in the, something inspired in the wrong context will come off as, I don't want to say crazy because I also want to change the stigma of crazy, and I want to change the stigma of mental health, period. And I have not done no extra study on it. We at the beginning of it, we're at the beginning of the conversation, but best believe I'm gonna take the stigma off the word crazy.
And we do use the word crazy to dismiss people. Like some of the things these people say, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm saying we don't want to hear it because they're certified as crazy, you know? But at the end of the day, Kanye is speaking some truth, but I can't take it seriously from him, even though the truth he's speaking is relevant. I think a lot of the things he's saying is relevant, but you signed those contracts. You decided to do those and make those actions and make those choices. You chose to be a slave, just like we all chose to be a slave. Bruh, you're in no different position than the rest of us. And for you to be crying for help in some form of fashion, I don't even know if you're crying for help anymore. I think you're good. You know, I think you're good. But at the end of the day, stay on your meds and practice what you preach from now on. And that'll help you out a lot if you actually practice what you preach versus saying some shit, saying some shit and going against the grain.
But let's just say for now, people will take something that's enlightened, put it in a different context, and then call it crazy to try to diminish the impact and the value of what I'm actually saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I say I go to therapy every Friday at 3 o'clock. Because, you know, sometimes you feel like Rafiki in The Lion King. Remember Rafiki? Rafiki knew exactly where Simba came from. He knew exactly who Simba was and what Simba was about. But everybody would say, yo, Rafiki is crazy. Stay away from him. And one day Rafiki took that staff and hit Simba over the head and said, no, you're crazy because you don't even know who you are. Look at this lake and let me show you where you come from. I think you might have forgotten that you're Kanye West. Because so many people was trying to make you believe that you were lesser than who you truly are.
Oh yeah. If you hang around people who act like you aren't who you are, then you'll forget who you are. And I got a doper way. I've written it down in a doper way. Yeah, tweet, you know.
Right.
We should just tweet while we like, let's tweet that right now, shit.
Speaking of Twitter,
yeah.
You know, how does that feel coming back to Twitter? Because I would think, coming back to Twitter, because I would think that the hardest thing for Kanye West is to be quiet.
Yeah.
He was quiet for like a year.
I didn't have a lot to say. I had a lot to learn. And, you know, right now, you'll document where I'm at. I felt the need to speak at this point. You know, when you look up at 5 years from now or 10 years from now, I'll have more experience. I'll be in a better place than I was today. But it's good for you to see, you know, there'll be mistakes, there'll be flaws in the way I communicate today, because we're human beings, we're flawed. I'm not media trained, I'm not studied in that, I'm not trying to say the right thing. I'm just saying exactly what I feel out of love. Yeah.
When was the last time Kanye West felt like he had something to learn? Because that's interesting to hear you say, because you know Kanye is the guy who seems to know everything, like to know what's going on as far as music, fashion. Like, when's the last time Kanye felt like he had something to learn?
Every day. Every day I'm trying to learn something, and every day I get afraid. I'm fearful of things, and I just use bravery to overcome what I'm fearful of. I mean, what's the quote people always say, the wise man knows he knows nothing?
Yeah.
I'm learning, and now I'm expressing some things that I felt, and if they mean something to you at this time, then great. If not, then, you know, don't use them. So, you know, a lot of, you know, I think me and Jay's issue, my issue, it just came down to information. I'm super hungry for information. I need information more than I need validation, more than I need finance. I need, like, if I learn how to fish, then I can feed my family forever. So I'm just constantly looking for the information. How do I set up a factory?
So you feel like Jay was tossing you money as opposed to giving you the information? Because you know the infamous line on 444 is, you know, I gave Kanye 20 mil without thinking. He gave me 20 minutes on stage. You know, what was he thinking? Oh, I think it was 20 mil without blinking, whatever it was. He gave you $20 million.
That concept that you gave me, that he gave me the money, that's what frustrated me, because actually the money he got it from Live Nation. Live Nation was managing me at the time. That's something normal, that someone would give someone a touring deal. It was a touring deal. But the fact that it was worded that it came from him, I'm a very loyal, emotional, like, artist person, you know. That made me feel like I owed more than just the money itself, for the fact that it came from him. You know, it just put me under a bit more of a kind of controlled situation. It's like, and I'm only acting out of love. I don't need to be controlled. I just need to be inspired and informed. And I can be the best Ye in that way.
Nobody gives a damn about Floyd Mayweather marrying Ashanti. I personally don't. I think that'd be a waste of a conversation. For Floyd Mayweather marrying Ashanti, really? I'm not even excited about that. I'd probably be more excited. Well, she is kind of. They did say she was a stripper, didn't it? Is Ashanti a stripper now? Because they was there. I seen something go viral about Ashanti dancing on somebody on stage and being mad about somebody throwing dollars at her. But Floyd Mayweather loves strippers, man.
But if I have I gave you this on it, and I don't have the full information of how it happened. Now, that said, I think there was some love in that, because, on Jay's part, because he did have to co-sign for it when the Live Nations and these different companies wouldn't co-sign for me, and I was in debt. Jay did have to go up and say, I'm a co-sign for Ye.
Gotcha.
Why is Kanye in debt? Why is Kanye in debt? This man been famous for about 20 years. Why is Kanye in debt, guys? Why is Kanye in debt? Why? Why is Kanye in debt? I know Kanye was worth every bit of $100 million. Why is he in debt? This man's shoes cost $500. Oh, nobody's buying them ugly motherfuckers. What was they called? The mud rats? 5,000s?
So the thing is, it's one of those ones like, have you ever done something where you did something for someone that's positive, but it was something about the way you did it that kind of like blew the whole thing up? So Jay did something that was positive, but the fact that I didn't receive the information in the right way, because I always feel like, man, I'm out here in Hollywood. I'm out here like, my mom's passed. I don't know who I can trust. I don't trust nobody.
And Jay was big brother. His big brother.
Yeah.
But I feel like both of y'all might have reacted.
Lisa, I'm pretty sure that Kim K and her mother loves money so much that they got a prenuptial. Kanye is not invested in that family other than them kids. If Kim K doesn't die, then Kanye's going to be paying for child support. He might not have to pay alimony, but he's going to be paying child support. Unless Kim K die and he gets custody of them kids, then, they'll get her estate. But other than that, yeah. She got him beat right now with the money. Financially, she's the breadwinner at home, I'm pretty sure.
Emotionally, though. Meaning that, like, you reacted emotionally when you was on stage and you ranted, and then he replied in a record. That's not really his character to do something like that. To put out, like, this is what I did for such and such.
I mean, yeah, but he did it in a brotherly way. He could have he could have released an entire record or something like that. It was just a bar, you know what I mean?
Takeover.
Yeah, could have went crazy. Got every single piece of information that possible on my life and stuff. Know the finances, all that, So even like when I tweeted I was in debt, that gave me power. That I took my power back, because it's like someone trying to say like, yo, if you say this, you're not gonna be cool no more. And it's like, man, my financial situation don't make me.
Yeah.
I'm in debt, now what? And I'm still yay.
Yeah, you did the Eminem and 8 Mile. Let me say it about myself before somebody else can use it against me.
Yeah.
That's what I call living your truth, though. Live your truth, so, when you live your truth, nobody can use your truth against you.
Yeah.
Where you and Jay at now?
We good. We tweeting, we texting each other this positive energy.
Have y'all seen each other?
I haven't seen him, but I can feel him.
All right. What keeps brothers like y'all from just, come to the house, man. Let's have a meal. Let's sit down and talk face to face, eye to eye. Because every time I, see him doing an interview, whether it's with David Letterman or whoever, he's saying that's my brother. Like, I love him. Like, so what stops y'all from just face to face communication?
We'll do it. Sometimes also, like, when you have like such similar personalities and people are, creating their own existence in their own world, in their own simulation or whatever.
That's what happened when you have sex with a woman and you nut in her. The woman says she can feel certain things about the guy, But I don't know how he can feel Jay-Z. Maybe Jay-Z busted in him once or twice. I don't know. I'm just stating.
They need to do it on their own. When we were doing Watch the Throne, I was there, in service to Jay. In service to myself, too, But I was there where any idea, the Givenchy artwork on Watch the Throne, like the first time you ever saw the Givenchy dog was on the Ham cover, or that, the Otis bead, the producers were working with, every piece of information was open source directly for, my idol, for Jay. And that's where we were at that time. And if that's the case, then, Ye's gonna be around more. Right. If I went off and, started focusing on clothes and building my company and my, my factory and my office and just focus on my family, all this. And, that's what happened.
Jay said you went too far talking about his family. Do you feel that? You feel like you went too far?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. If we're family, if we're brothers, and we are family, then
it's your family too.
Then it's my family. If we're business associates and this, then it was too far.
Gotcha.
Respectfully, I gotta say, I was hurt about them not coming to the wedding. I understand they was going through some things, but if it's family, you're not gonna miss a wedding, and I'm not using this interview to put any negative things, but I gotta state
just expressing yourself.
Yeah, I gotta state my truth, and then that one thing happens, and another thing happens, another thing happens, another thing's happening. You just start coming up with all type of crazy ideas in your head and stuff. Like, why? And obviously it's me. I'm like wild out personality and stuff. I'm like the cousin you can't bring nowhere, all this type of stuff, obviously. But
that's interesting about the wedding. Did they not come? Because in the press it was Beyonce has a problem with Kim, or they don't like all the Kardashian reality show type thing, or maybe now in hindsight, maybe it was because they had their own issues that they was trying to work out. What do you think it was?
I'm not sure. I'm past it, but at the time I was hurt about it.
Did you ask them?
I don't think I ever asked them that question directly. Maybe talking through someone that worked with them and that kind of thing, but never direct.
I think you got to address what bothers you, yeah. I think that's what might be causing, what causes the breakthroughs. When you're not asking the things that you want to ask. Like, those are questions you can get answers for. Like, some things you can't get answers for, but that one you can get an answer for.
I don't think the answer fixes it.
True. I want to go back to something you said, speaking about fixing something. Like, how did you, as a man, forgive yourself for, you said you feel like you let your wife down because you hired the security. How did you get over that? Because that's not your fault. That's chance.
I mean, if she wasn't here, I would never forgive myself. It's just bugged out when you're super high profile and this celebrity, the concept of celebrity. You're like as famous as the president, but you don't have National Guard with you. You gotta hire your own, you gotta make your own community guard.
So it's just a constant thing, basically.
The idea of security and the way it relates to fame and this, that, all that is especially with, social media and all these different things and that's my wife doesn't even wear big diamonds anymore. We don't keep no jewelry, no money in the house, no, name, high art, none of that. We don't keep any of that any place, where our kids stay.
That's one of the things I talk to my therapist about, though, because it's a very vulnerable feeling being a father and a husband, because our job is to protect and provide, but we not with our kids 24/7. Like, our kids are at school right now. Like, anything can happen. Like, you're not with your wife all the time, so anything can happen. So it's kind of like a very vulnerable feeling. Like, you almost got to let go and let God, so to speak. Do you think it's easy to be fearless when it's just you that you have to worry about, but now being a husband and a parent, does it make you more afraid to take more chances?
Yeah, but you got to stay brave. You have to follow your gut feeling. Everyone has a position in the universe, and I've been made and had the experiences I've had for a reason, to be expressive, to go through going to the hospital, to go through the dynamics of you know, family, brother, working relationships, you know, I got to follow my gut. When I have that fear, I still have to be, you know, brave. And you know, I think is interesting in this world that's like looking for sound bites. Like when you talk about the Jay thing, it's like, you know what? I do love Jay, and I don't have all the answers for every issue I've ever had. I don't have a soundbite for everything.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, sometimes language is an overrated form of communication, right? Like words don't always do it justice. I saw something you tweeted, and it was to the effect of some things can't be explained, some things just need to be experienced. What's that? Expound on that a little bit.
When you want to express yourself, a lot of times words can get in the way. Just this innate feeling that we have, you know, when someone's talking to you, trying to talk you into something or something like that, and you're just like, look, this just don't feel right. You know, oftentimes people playing ball, doing karate, whatever it is, and people, they don't mention karate since the 80s. Karate used to be the shit, you know, but you see all them karate films. Like, but it'll always be, you know, get out of your head. Go from your gut, go from your chi, do what you feel. And that's what I'm big on. Stop strategizing so much. Stop setting so many plays. Stop doing things only based in fear. Like, the universe will assist you when you are acting in love. I tweeted this thing where I said, when you're acting in love, you're like a drop of water and you have the ocean as your army. When you act in fear, it's just you and your money. Now, you could take your money and put it in Bitcoin, put a credit form, put it in cash, or all your cash, and then stand up to the ocean, and who's going to win?
I'm understanding. I think your mind stayed a little bit more like when you was on stage and you'd be going into those rants. It was out of fear. You were afraid at that time.
I think those rants, I think to do the rants, though, we're brave. I think we're in a place now where bravery is more important than perfection. Feeling is more important than thought. People get they put so much thought into it. What's going to happen? So I actually think that the rants came from a place of bravery, and I had enough of the politics. You know, and that's the world that we're in right now. Like, people are speaking their truth. You know, people are expressing themselves. And, you know, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this moment because it's always been such a, you know, just a politically ran, you know, society and mentality that everyone's been in and stuff like, don't do that. You need to do this. You don't need to hang out with them. You need to hang out with them. You know, blah, blah, all this, and like trying to please people and all that stuff. And I don't feel like right now, like people are trying to please people the same way. They trying to please themselves.
That could be a bad thing too, though, right? Because I feel like we're all public servants at the end of the day. We're here to serve the needs of the public. We're all greater than ourselves.
Well, we definitely got to touch on the word bad and the idea of good and bad. Things just are. It depends on what side you're on, if something is good or bad. It depends on what your agenda is. But of course, we can speak in terms of bad. You know, we haven't got, our language hasn't evolved to what either of us are feeling at this point. So both of us could be thinking in 2030, well, we still got to communicate in 2018 because that's when this is dropping. So
do we though? Because you always seem to play in the future.
Yeah, I guess we don't. I guess we could be in the future.
Yeah, people got to catch up.
Yeah.
You talked about the politics, you know, you said on stage.
I was saying that with the word bad, though.
Bad,
we can still use bad as a concept, because people are so raised on the idea of home team, away team, positive, negative, good, bad. Like, I think negative gets too much of a negative rap. You know, life is a balance.
Yeah, so when we was talking earlier, I was like, I don't believe in any good or bad experiences. I feel like everything's just a part of the process of life.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about bad experiences that have happened to you, do you still look at them as just bad, or did you learn something from them?
There's no bad. And there's no enemies. Even people want to kill you are not your enemy. That's something I was going to tweet, and I was like, I feel this, but I don't know if people would take it in a certain way. I've got a lot of ideas that are forward, and I'm just going to keep building like a mountain of like a snowball of ideas, and just keep getting more and more expressive as I go.
So that's what the book is going to be? All those ideas?
But, I don't even know if it's a book. It's like stream. It's all about streams. Everything is stream. That's why that's an amazing word. That's an amazing modern and futuristic word, streams. Mm-hmm. Streams of consciousness, stream of music. Everything is just a stream. It relates to water. It's like exactly, where we will be. We will be, ultralight, being an ultralight stream, we will be all just a stream.
I feel like Kanye West, the brand, Kanye West, the man, is rebelling against Kanye West, the brand.
My email is not at Kanye West anymore. I retired from whatever that meant to be Kanye West. But I think my attitude is a representation of fighting for your own truth will live, like if I died tomorrow and stuff, it would live past me. The it's like a Pac thing and stuff.
That's your name, though. Just like Tupac, that was his name. Like your mother gave you the name Kanye West.
Yeah, and it means the only one. One of the incredible things I thought about when I went to the hospital is on Kendrick's album, there's this skit where Tupac is talking about the black man at age 30, right? And I'm like, I made it to 39. I made it to 39 with my opinion. Alive with my opinion. Now I'm 40 and I still have my opinion. One of the things that was incredible when I, got out of the hospital was I had lost my confidence.
Kanye West with no confidence? That's like Michael Jordan with no jumping. What do you mean?
Like, and you could see it. That's what I was saying, sunken place and all this stuff. It's like, and wow, I never had the empathy for people who lacked confidence.
Kanye in the sunken place. First of all, Kanye been in a sunken place since 2007 when he got with Kim. 2009. How long he been with Kim? Shit, he been in a sunken place ever since 2007, 2008 when he sold his mama for them riches and fames and them fames and fortunes and them fortunes and riches. How your mama go get a facelift and die? No, people don't die from a fucking facelift, man.
I had so much of it, I didn't know what it was like to be without it.
Do you mean zero confidence, or you just was less confident than usual?
It just wasn't Black Panther, Superman level confidence. It was, it was placed into the simulation and shit. I was like, completely could be like molded and controlled and everything. If that was the case, if I was, I wouldn't speak up. I'm gonna speak up and stuff. Like where I was when I got to the hospital, it's even when I did the next fashion show, it got all these good reviews. Yeah, because I was less confident. Because it's like, there, boy, that's exactly what we wanted.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you traded authenticity for approval?
I didn't trade it. I just didn't have it. I didn't have me. I didn't have my confidence. So that superpower could never, like if I was like homeless, any situation, you could take everything. You could Black Mirror me. You could put shit on the media and say, yay, fuck the GOAT, and all this type of shit, and you will not take my confidence away.
What exactly what took Kanye's confidence? That's literally like somebody bringing kryptonite to Superman.
That's what
it was. Taking the herb from Black Panther. Like, what took your confidence?
I don't know exactly what it was. It had something to do, I mean, maybe a doctor could give an explanation, but it had to do with something with coming through the breakthrough. I like to call it the breakthrough and not the breakdown. Coming through the breakthrough that, you know, but also I think it was incredible because it was a forced amount, it was forced humility. Because positive and negative, I look at humility, it just is what it is. But previously I would have looked at humility as more of a negative thing. And even if you read certain definitions, it's kind of got a negative vibe. But as we said before, no positive and negative. But also that humility gave me time to grow. And everyone just backed off. A lot of people depend on me. They ask for a lot of things. They're like, Superman, do this for me. You know, one of the things that, the irony, because people always talk about the sunken place. And
yeah, you seen the meme? They got the meme of you, and you're the main character from Get Out with the tears in your eyes, and Chris doing the teacup.
Yeah, I never saw the meme, but I get the picture of it. The funny thing about that is that my wife, like, she's like,
Kanye done had it all and done shitted on it, and this is the best thing you can come up with. Kanye had it all, man. He was the most prolific artist that we had during his time, and he shitted on it with contradictions. That's your fault, bro.
I'm responsible. Like, Ye's mom is...
Hey, thank you, Bree, for that. I appreciate that. If you haven't checked out the new tape, please check out the new tape. It's on all major platforms. You can either Google Dirty EGP topics, and my new tape, you can play it on YouTube as well.
Passed away. I'm responsible to take care of this superhero. And my mom might have had these things where she made sure I never took my Superman cape off. You know, I got this rap that say, parents are the strippers, strip kids of their confidence, teach white dominance, question your common sense. I've been washed in tradition, the Amaranth, hopped off the Amistad and made I'm a god. Now, when I said it, I like it for this interview. When I said it on a song, I didn't like the frequency of it because it felt dated.
We got some Solo Nation in here. We got some True Nation in here. We got some Vic Damone Nation in here. Let me know who you rocking with, man. Let me see who we got up in here. Who got rocking with your boy Dirty? If you fuck with your boy Dirty, put up them palm trees. Let me see them palm trees.
Because it touched on race too much. So it's not that racism, we definitely are dealing with racism, but I want to push future concepts. You know, now I'm giving you two streams of consciousness in one. I want to talk about my wife. I also want to talk about Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill.
We're following you. We're following it all. You set it up good. Okay.
That was the moment that I wanted to use Bitcoin, and I saw Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill.
Why?
It's like when you just see like all the slave movies, it's like, why you gotta keep reminding us about slavery? Why don't you show us, put Michael Jordan on a $20 bill?
But Harriet Tubman was the slave who rebelled, though. Like, her and Nat Turner in a different frequency, though. They kind of were like you when you said you didn't feel like being controlled.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny, like, my boy Tremaine tweeted, you know, a picture of me and Virgil, and he said, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And all these people got mad. It's like, how can you compare them to that? Man, I know this is gonna cause an uproar, but...
Guys, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and bell. Get in the chat. If you're new here, get in the chat. Holla at your boy.
Certain icons is just too far in the past and not relatable. And that's what makes them safe. Like, they'll let you go on the Grammys and talk about slavery and all that and racism because it's not talking about buying stock It's not talking about buying property.
Yeah, economic empowerment.
Yeah, it's not talking about economic power. You can complain as hard as you want on that platform, but it's not scary.
Well, that's what ultimately got Martin Luther King Jr. killed. Like, it wasn't when he was fighting for civil rights. It's when he started talking about economic empowerment, when he was planning things like the Poor People's March, which was going to be the largest march on Washington with people of all colors that were just poor and disenfranchised. That's when they took Martin out.
Scary.
How's the comparison with you and Virgil, though? What was it?
We were saying that he's more Martin, I'm more Malcolm. But there is a civil rights element to the ability to create your own industry. Because even when we did rap, everything we got, basketball and rap are both someone else's industry. So you're always a player. It took Michael Jordan a long time to become an owner.
With that said, because you mentioned Virgil, like he's now the creative director for Louis Vuitton. I feel like he went from being an owner with Off-White to now being a player. How do you feel about that?
Some people have to do things just to prove that they can be done. And whether they become the billionaire, on the other side of it, you know, Obama went into that office as a public servant in a service position. And it didn't matter the amount of money. It didn't matter the amount of ownership. The world needed to see that this was a possibility. So for Virgil,
I plan on playing it around 10:30, 11 tomorrow. So let's, I'm going to say you should be on about 10:30, 11 tomorrow. I'm going to play it.
Virgil, it's like the world just needs to see things. You know, I was afraid to speak the way I speak now. I was afraid to show you, you know, my office in Calabasas. I was afraid to show you this 300
Eastern Standard Time, by the way.
Acres that I just purchased that I'm building my first community on, my first 5 properties on, because, you know, I felt like it would be shut down. But it's not about me. Even if I got killed tomorrow and they shut everything down, the fact that I put the idea out is the Black Panther shit.
Tupac said the exact same thing. It's not about me. It's about that I can spark the idea in the next person's mind to keep it going. The thing about the quote unquote the Black community, and I'm gonna end this video here, guys. And I'm gonna pick up tomorrow and play some more of this before we get into the video. But the thing about the Black community, the community or the leadership to me, guys, is that once we get a leader and that leader gets killed, there's nobody to pick up the pieces and keep it moving right then. Once the head get cut off, the rest of the body scatters off, and the rest of the cockroaches, they just scatter away. Everybody just run and get comfortable back into their comfortable zone. So that's our problem. If there was ever a person to actually start a movement, it can't just be the person who's the face of the movement. It has to be the movement. It can't be about the person. It has to be about the movement. And that's the thing. We get so caught up in the person, and we put all our energy in the person and not the movement. So overall, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. Once again, I had a great show. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I see we got a lot of beef against Scorpio Sting in the chat today. Shout out to Fact Talk, Lisa, Sheila, Joyce. I see everybody that tuned in. Jerome, Don Julio, my homie landlord, Jerome. Who else we got? We got a lot more people, man. Everybody that tuned in, I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. You know, palm tree shit all day, cool, relaxing, you know, vibing out, positive vibes, great vibes. You know, we do this. I rock with you guys. I appreciate you guys. I will be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. So guys, be tuned in. I'm gonna play that movie, man. It's gonna be deep. If you're a sensitive ass person, This movie is going to be too deep for you to be sensitive. It's about an hour and it's about 2 hours long. So if you're willing to watch it and it's really deep, I encourage everybody who's quote unquote black, white, Chinese, Mexican to watch this movie, man. Liz, I'm not even going to tell you guys the name of it because I want you to watch it on my show. But I encourage everybody to watch this movie. And thank you. If you want to support, by all means, share, like, subscribe. Send it to your friends, people you think might, enjoy something like this. Hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App. All support is appreciated. And I'm not selling you guys any outs. I'm not selling you guys any type of freedom passes. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys are amazing. Shout out to the chat. Palm Tree Gang. We out. Rio 1.5 out now on all major platforms. Come on. Gotta give me another mouse pad. All right. I'll holla, guys.